Hey, what's up, Black 22 Nation? The people of YouTube, you demanded it. It happened. We returned. James Marvs. I'm
So,
Gobo Moran. This is NFL. Thank you so much for joining us on week 14. This is our 14th goddamn episode of this show. So you're welcome. You, I know you who's watching. I know what you did. All right. Let's start off in the hallowed halls of academia. Um, who can say the Greek alphabet the fastest? College football is fucking crazy. Um, so Michigan beats Ohio State, probably the biggest story of the week. Ohio State seemingly was cruising. I think they still are going to probably make the playoff. I don't think it matters that much. Everything else kind of by the numbers. I know my Buffs got their win 52 to nothing, which was nice to see. I think that's the swan song for old Dion and Shador. I mean, they'll still make a bowl game, but like it's not going to be in the playoff. Um, we needed Arizona State, BYU, and
Iowa State.
Iowa State. We needed two of those three teams to lose. All three of them won, so it didn't matter. I know there were some sportsmanship issues.
Dude, first of all, I'm going to speak about Nebraska's Matt Rule here for a second because apparently he instructed the Huskers to not shake hands at center field with the Hawkeyes in Iowa City. And there was some a speculation that it was retribution for them not being allowed to pray on the logo in center field before the game. But that's not the coach's call. That's the grounds crew's call. And then some of the players said that Matt Rule was walking up and down the rows as they were doing their drills and stretches on the Iowa side. Have you ever heard of a coach doing that?
That's very strange. Yeah. I mean, I don't even think it's like, I don't even know if I can, it's like so strange. I don't even really know if it registers as like disrespectful.
Like,
Just fucking
players
weird.
are
Why
really
would you
put
do
off.
that? Maybe he got lost. Maybe he was like on his phone or something and it's like, oh shit, I walked into the wrong guys.
But after the handshake, each got half of the field and they're running around and the coach is right there at midfield and one of the players said, "It's probably a bad move not shaking our hands at the circle." And he goes, "Who are you?" That's what Matt Rule said to the player. He goes, "Who are
Wow.
you?" And he's like,
What an
"Well,
asshole.
we're just gonna go ahead and beat your asses."
And Iowa won.
Yeah. And they were down 10-0 at halftime and they won 13-10, I think. So
Well, hoopty damn do.
dude, see, but that's the kind of shit that motivates players that aren't otherwise motivated to like perform and be like, I'm not going to get beaten by somebody who disrespects me like that. But then you had the Michigan Ohio State game. What is Ryan doing? Just he watched. He's like, go ahead, go. He was like standing there waiting to see if they were gonna go at it. What a weirdo.
I mean, it's just probably I mean, it sucks to lose, I guess, but like yeah, I mean, it's at the end of the day, like, be a man, like, you still have more games.
Is there anyone in the world that predicted that upset?
No.
I can't.
After Ohio State beat Indiana, I thought they were the real deal.
I
And
know
now it's
one,
like,
I know one person that predicted it, and she bet me 12 steak dinners. I only have to give one, but she was so certain that Michigan was. I was like, "What do you? No, that's not going to happen at all." And Deb, if you're watching, I owe you a steak dinner because and Gobo can attest, that was the biggest upset of the year, bar none.
I mean, it's up there for sure.
What was bigger than that?
Um, fucking Vanderbilt, Alabama. Like,
But Alabama's not even, I mean, they've lost 4 games, right?
three.
Three. They've lost 3 games, so I don't really even consider that big.
Man, a lot of people think Alabama's still going to make the playoff.
That's gonna piss a lot of people off.
Yeah, because they're ranked 11 right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
It's
wow.
fucked up. It's
Wow.
fucked up.
Wow.
Fucked up. I hate it.
Ah,
We all hate it. But
we'll argue it with you guys.
Southern Methodist headed for the ACC championship. Let's go. Big, yeah, they crushed Berkeley. They crushed the Bears. 38-6. Miami loses to fucking Syracuse. Let's see here. That one's not a big deal. That one's not a big deal. Army gets another win. Who cares? Georgia barely ekes out a win against Georgia Tech. I mean, that's a rivalry game. It's kind of a trap game.
We need to talk about that because that game was
What?
14 hours long. That was 8 overtimes.
8 overtimes?
8 overtimes, Gobo. I was watching it live and it went to 8 overtimes. And I was just like
Oh
sitting
yeah. No, the highlight video is 22 minutes long.
there. Yeah, it was, and there's probably stuff left out. I mean, that game was that's one of the most insane things I've ever seen in my life. And
That's
it
best
would
college
be
football right
considered one of the greatest games ever played if Georgia Tech would have pulled it off. If they would have pulled it off, that would have been something people are talking about forever and ever and ever. But
But you didn't. Yeah, it'd be like when App State beat Michigan. Everyone remembers that game. All right, let's go back to the pros. I love this first story because we were fucking talking so much shit about this guy during the show last week. We were
yeah,
literally, the Bears need to fire Matt Eberflus. What are they doing? Like 5 minutes after we fucking wrapped, it was almost on the show. Oh no, that was Daniel Jones. I'm
no,
sorry.
but you're not wrong because I mean it was like the game. It was like right after.
Right. It was Daniel. It was. I'm thinking of the Daniel Jones getting cut. But no, Matt Eberflus. I saw in an article Bears were gonna fire him after the Thanksgiving Day game. Bears have a tremendous mishap at the end of the Lions game. Blow it at the end. Eberflus gets his walking papers, and we are headed for our third Matt in as many years over in Chicago.
Can we talk about that last play?
I mean, what's there to talk? I don't. I mean, I,
There's
I
like
it just hurts as a football fan to watch that happen. Like
there's like
these are
14,
professionals.
14 or 15 seconds left on the clock. And they're lining up like they've got a full play clock. And he's like directing traffic, changing the play. And Eberflus is watching this, knowing he can win the game with a field goal. And what does he do? He just says, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, he blows it.
Lets him snap the fucking ball with 5 seconds to go and throws it basically away. And that was it. Like you can't end a time, you can't end a game like that with a timeout in your possession and you're in field goal range. You can't do it. You can't allow that as a head coach. And I'm talking if they've won 6 in a row and this is them going into for the playoff berth, yeah, I still fire him. You can't be that
I mean,
absent-minded, dude.
but that's the thing. Like coaches who do this don't win six in a row. Like that's the
Yeah,
thing.
I
There's
mean
there's,
that's
there's so little margin for error in the pros, man. I mean, it's unless you're the Seahawks playing the Jets. Um,
the whole game was errors, but we'll
it
talk
was
about
it was it was not fun to watch, but you're still that much better of a team. Eberflus gone. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know who the candidates would be for head coach. For the Bears. I like their, but I'll tell you what, their new play caller, or their new offensive coordinator. I think his name is Oh, it's like something so generic. It's like Thomas Johnson or something.
Can I run a name by you for
Yeah.
coach? Bill Belichick.
Oh my God, for the Bears.
Come on, man. That's you got to admit that would be intriguing as shit
I think he's waiting. I think he's waiting
for
for
Della.
I think he's
What?
waiting for Mike McCarthy to get fired. But
But
I don't know what's gonna happen
dude, he does not want to work with Jerry Jones. We've already discussed this. How could he?
because he worked for Robert Kraft for like 30
Yeah, but
years. Like
yeah,
it's the
but that's
same
not even
guy.
that's not the same kind of involvement. Kraft is not the he. I mean, Kraft is not the GM of the team. If he went to Chicago, he could be like, "Look, I will identify in my interview all the shit that's wrong here and what I will do to fix it," and he would get that job. Boom. And I think it would be pretty awesome. I get that you don't want it. I
I
get that
don't
you don't
want it.
want it.
I don't want
I
it.
don't
I
want it.
want them to find another guy named Matt who's terrible at his job. And then they can
I
draft
know a
another
guy.
quarterback.
I know a guy.
Yeah, they bring Matt Nagy back.
So, okay, your hesitation lets me know that you don't want them to make a good decision.
I mean,
No, that's fine. I get it. I totally get it.
as much as I lament a team being terrible for so long, like it's our arch rival. It's the oldest rivalry in football. Like I can't wish them well,
I got you.
you know? I know that you like it when the 49ers fail.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Um,
Um anyways, so moving on from
can I tell you something though? I like it when they're good.
well, you've had a lot to
I
like
don't I
recently.
don't want to play in a division of fucking losers, dude. I want all of our like I love that we're stacked. I just wish it was 8 and 9 wins apiece instead of
Yeah, instead of six.
5 and 6 and 7. It's like, but it's a testament, dude. I want our games to be hard. Like I don't want to watch fluff football. I want to beat teams that are good. So,
Let's go on the record. James Marves likes it hard.
but
All
guess what?
right.
Guess what though? The only way that you see the Seahawks get talked about on national television is because they're playing the Jets, who have no reason, no business being on national television.
It's because
Really
a
crazy.
former a Hall of Fame quarterback is in the twilight of his career and has the most bizarre personal life of maybe anybody else in the NFL.
We got mentioned on Pat McAfee today.
That's pretty huge.
We never do. We never, and they acknowledge it. They're like, "Yeah, there's a team we never talk about. Shame on us." They admit it. They fucking admit it.
I love Pat McAfee that like he was a punter and then now he's just a podcaster. Like
Dude, I
it's a great
honestly,
podcast.
I wish he wouldn't have taken the deal with ESPN though, because the show was so much better when it was just on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Well,
understand money, like I
I
get
was
it.
gonna say ESPN Dames doesn't mean that if you're watching.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, throw us an offer.
Yeah, if you want to hear my patented brand of nonsense up in Connecticut, I will be happy to oblige. Um, Mike Tomlin from a coach getting fired to a coach
Rare
calling
form.
out one of his players for being an asshole.
I think he did this, Gobo. Do you remember earlier in the season he was taking heat from the media for allowing diva receivers to walk all over him? And what's his name? AJ. Who was that guy that was a big name for them?
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah. Oh, he was the worst.
Dude, he's like now he's like grow up, dude. He's like grow up. These penalties are costing us and like putting Russell in bad positions. And I like it. I like that he's responding to clearly what someone has thought has been a weakness for him and just calling out players. I like it. I like it.
I mean, yeah, I think that like the NFL has kind of this unwritten rule that if like the talent backs it up, you can kind of behave however the fuck you want. I don't think that's really the case anymore, unless you play for the Browns.
You notice this bullshit though? Um, this bullshit of putting Justin Fields in the game didn't happen this week. Tomlin watched our show and he realized that he made a huge mistake by rotating that shit.
I mean, Russell Wilson killed it. He had a great game.
So, yeah.
Uh, Not having a great game. The Jets considering benching with their interim coach, benching Aaron Rodgers, and yeah, I love that you wrote in parentheses, I doubt it. They're
Yeah,
not going to
I feel
bench
like
Aaron.
this is
There's no
just
reason to. He's not coming back next year, and you're not going to the playoffs. So fuck it. Who cares?
I feel like this is just a shake it up story. Like I don't feel like there's any truth behind it, but I read it on NFL.com, so it was worth putting in here. But they didn't say doubt it. They just said they're toying with the idea of starting someone else. And I'm like, no, they're not.
I don't know. Those beat writers, I feel like they sometimes make something out of nothing. So like maybe they saw a different quarterback taking reps with the ones and they're like, "Oh, they're definitely gonna bench him." Aaron Rodgers probably was like, "I'm done practicing," and he just sat down.
I mean, what's in it for him at this point? They're out. They're out for good. All he's doing is tarnishing his legacy at this point.
Oh, he doesn't give a fuck, dude.
He comes back
He's
next year, it'll be worse.
he is 150% ego, man. That's why it's so sad to see him like this because it's like he always has had a big ego but he always used to be able to back it up. So like we tolerated it for so long. But now it's like you're on a fucking third tier team. You're like a below average quarterback. You can't scramble, you can't throw accurately, and you demolished an entire program to fill it full of your fucking buddies. And now it's like the damage is going to be like almost irreparable. Like the Jets aren't going to be good again for 5 or 6 more years if they cut him now.
See, I remember when Brady was on the verge of retirement, all of you guys were like, yeah, fucking retire. We hate you. And that's how I feel about Aaron Rodgers. But now, as I'm kind of like, you know what? Come back. Why not? I'll watch you suck for another year and the Jets be in misery for another year.
Well, that's the thing though. Like Peyton Manning, when he retired, came back and won a Super Bowl. Tom Brady came back, won a Super Bowl. Brett Favre came back, went to the NFC Championship with the Vikings, took the Jets to the playoffs. These guys had success. Aaron Rodgers played 3 plays last year, and he's what is their record this year? Fucking 4-10.
They don't have 4 wins.
They're
They,
they're terrible.
you just gave the Jets credit for 4 wins.
You know what? I was trying to be nice.
They are 3-9.
3-9.
Yeah. And they started out 2-1, I think. So it's been,
Yeah, they're fucking pathetic, man. Like
yeah.
bench him. I mean, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, there's nothing you can do is right or wrong at this point. Like, there's no saving the season. All right, let's get to some real news here. Aziz Al-Shair fucking tomahawk dunks Trevor Lawrence in the face running full speed, gives him a concussion. Lawrence is day to day with a concussion. He might not play this week. He was out the entire game against the Texans. Al-Shair, 3 game suspension. I know you hate this guy.
Here's my problem. All right. I did a little research on the guy. He's been a piece of shit. I remember he was a piece of shit when he was with the 49ers. He was a dirty ass player then. He's a dirty ass player now. This is a trend for him. There's no reason for me to think that this was an accident. And when I first was being asked about it, both on the TikTok page and by people on my text, I was like, I don't know. All I've seen is the live action play. I haven't seen it broken down. I haven't seen it in slow motion.
Mhm.
Two things I don't like. I don't like people saying that Trevor Lawrence slid late. What the fuck does that even mean? You slide when you slide. You go down when you see contact coming. There's no there's no point where you should be like, oh, I should have slid before that, because the whole point of you running in the first place is to get forward progress. It's up to the guy bringing you down to hold off when he sees you sliding. And not only did he not hold off, when you look at it in slow motion, he engaged not with his helmet, but with his forearm to the chin. That's a penalty all day long. He deserved not only the penalty to be ejected from the game, but I feel like a 3 game suspension is adequate.
I was gonna say 3 game suspension is pretty harsh, especially at this point in the season, and especially that Houston is in playoff contention. But you're not wrong about anything else that you said. That hit was obviously deliberate. I
Well,
mean, in my opinion, I wasn't there, but like
let's
from
let's
all of the footage,
let's further discuss. It immediately started a riot on the field in which he participated
yeah.
and showed no remorse being taken off the field. He got an engagement with the fans. It's
Mhm.
his apology only came when he got a 3 game suspension and he needs to make amends before he can even make an appeal. So I don't feel like it's too harsh. I mean,
Yeah.
some people wanted him gone for the season.
Well, Houston didn't get their shit. I mean, I don't think anybody else is going to win that division. But I was going to say 3 games could be the season if Houston doesn't get it together. But I think they'll be fine. Um, we'll see. But Al-Shaair, does he change his ways or take on another quarterback in the playoffs? Because if he does it again this season, like he's definitely like permanently banned from the NFL, right?
I don't know. I don't
You would,
know.
I mean, you would hope so. I don't know. Um, so Brees Hall, we're talking about the Jets a lot today, man. He has been like one of the most inconsistent backs this year, and it's has consistent issues with fumbling, and it's just like I've been looking at a couple of articles, and like I don't think anybody knows for sure if he's like nursing an injury or if he just doesn't want to play for the Jets anymore. I mean, I kind of don't. I mean, for one, running behind the Jets' offensive line probably will get you injured.
Yes.
I think but also I think that if you weren't didn't win a Super Bowl in 2011 with the Packers, you don't want to play for the Jets either.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you my honest take here, Gobes. I think he is nursing an injury and he doesn't want to play for the Jets, but I don't think that has anything to do with him coughing the ball up. Maybe the injury more than not wanting to play for the Jets, but you know, I don't know what his fumble numbers are. I know that he fumbled a big one against Seattle, and it was part of what allowed us to make every mistake you could possibly mistake and still win. But yeah, I who wants to play for the Jets right now? There's no pride in that
Mason
building. There's nobody
Crosby,
going out there
probably.
going, yeah. I mean, your fans are booing you at every game. They're not happy, so you don't even have that pride connection with them, you know? I mean, you're going out there hoping that you eke out a win against the Dolphins this week, and even then,
I was like, I don't have a lot of hope in that either.
yeah. So, but it is what it is. Like they're just bad. He's bad.
It's not good.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
let
maybe it's an effort thing too. If you feel like, I'm not gonna risk hurting my body for the rest of my life in a season where we've already been eliminated with 8 weeks to go or whatever, or 6 weeks to go, whatever's left here.
I don't know. It's just hard to think about Brees starting to degrade already as a running back, and he's just like his best years are with the fucking Jets and never had a winning season. Like that's depressing because he's a great. I thought he at least was a great running back. He's not doing that so great this year, but yeah, like it's unfortunate. But that's part of playing for the Jets. Ask Darrell Revis. Um, switching from the Jets to a happier theme, something that Dames and I will rarely agree on. We're going to talk about a man who met with nothing but success for the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks.
A
Of course,
walrus.
we're talking about the immortal Matt Flynn.
A
No, we're talking about Mike Holmgren, Super Bowl
walrus.
winning quarterback with the Packers, Super Bowl losing quarterback with the Hawks.
Coach, he means.
Quarterback coach and the coach of the rest of the team as well, yes.
Yeah. It's so weird how many things in common we have. Because Hasselbeck was also a Packer.
Hasselbeck was a Packer.
He's also the guy
He
that,
also threw one of the best touchdown passes to the Packers I've ever seen.
yeah, he was still a Packer in that game. You know what, though? And I've said this every time this comes up. I fucking love that he said that. And we're,
Oh, it was
of
the
course,
best.
referring to the coin toss where it was in Green Bay and playoff game, even, wasn't it?
It was a divisional playoff game. I remember it. It was the time I got my first kidney stone. I was 16 years old.
Well, Hasselbeck, we won the coin toss, and he's out there, of course, and he goes, "We want the ball, and we're going to score."
And score.
And Al Harris, about 6 plays later,
Yeah, it was a back shoulder out route, and Harris jumped in. He was just gone. Like the second he touched the ball, it was over.
and as much as it hurt then, I never was like, "Oh, you shouldn't have said that," or embarrassed for him at all. Because that's what I want. That's what I want in my leader. I want him to be like, "Fuck yeah, we're gonna do it right now, down your throat."
I mean, you're
So
you're you're going into overtime with the Brett Favre led Packers in the snow at Lambeau in the playoffs. Like you better be fucking hyped, or you're gonna get smashed.
that was a hell of a game, dude. That
That was
was
a good game. The Packers and Seahawks have had some tussles over the years, and 2 weeks we got another one coming.
yeah.
So Mike Holmgren, of course, we both love him. He's a finalist for Hall of Fame as a head coach. We're hoping he gets in. If he doesn't get in this ballot, he definitely will in a few, if not
He's
next
a
year, the year
first
after.
dude. He's a first ballot Hall of Fame
I
coach.
mean, multiple NFC championships, Super Bowl champion. Like, he
He was
coached
kind
some of
of
the best players.
Belichick before Belichick, even. He was the guy. Like he was the Andy Reid of his time.
He was probably one of the more cerebral coaches in that era, for sure.
And just like, commanded respect. Can you imagine somebody walking up to him and like yelling at him? He'd be like, the fuck out of here.
They'll be like, okay, guess who's playing for the Jets next week?
Exactly, dude. Coaches
Exactly.
like that don't really exist anymore. If you think
Nah.
about it, there's no
Yeah,
like
they're not
super
like
intimidating
fiery. I
guy.
mean, I bet Andy Reid is probably like that to a certain extent.
Yeah, but you can't even sit, dude, watch a fucking farmer's insurance commercial and he's like bobbly boobity boo. No, he's not intimidating at all, dude.
But that's the thing. These guys, they turn it off when they're off the field. Fucking JJ Watt, dude. How many commercials did JJ Watt make, like eating soup with his mom and shit? And then he gets on the field and he's a fucking murderer.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong there,
Yeah,
but
dude, like they can be both. They know when it's time to go to work. Um, Anyways, Mike Holmgren, we love you, man. Congratulations. We hope we see you busting Canton next year. Um, and into some sadder news, let's talk about injuries. Christian McCaffrey is done for the season.
boo.
Boo. Yeah, he's out for at least 6 weeks with a knee injury. The Niners are not making the playoffs. They do not have 6 games left. So yeah, it is over. So Christian McCaffrey, I hate to see it, man. I not a 49ers fan, but he's a Colorado boy and he's a damn good running back, so I hate to see him get injured.
Yeah,
Um Trevor Lawrence, after taking that ridiculous shot to the head, is day to day with a concussion. Are we gonna see him this weekend against Tennessee? Probably not, right?
probably not. I don't
I was
think
like, at this point, just play Mac Jones. You're not making the playoffs. Yeah, you don't want to risk him. I mean, he's still your franchise guy.
correct.
And then I also put down J.K. Dobbins. He is on IR with an MCL. I think if he was on a winning team, or I mean, he's on the Chargers, so I think that like we may see him in the playoffs. It's just a sprain. I don't think the MCL is torn, but I don't know. The Chargers have so many weapons on the receiver core. I don't think he needs to rush back.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong there. I think no rush.
And then Taysom Hill, settle down, man. Like I feel like Taysom Hill is the type of guy that like when he plays pickup basketball with his kids, he gets like a triple double every single time because he will not fucking settle down. He's so competitive. And so, sure enough, the guy who plays five positions injures his knee. He is day to day after that. After last week's game against the Rams.
To Taysom Hill, I say, do not settle down, sir. What makes you great is the fact that you're crazy and willing to throw it all out there. I mean, you're not a franchise anything. You're just a utility, and what makes you what you are is your ability to be a total train wreck out there. So keep doing it till you can't do it anymore. That's what I say.
And he's a fan favorite, man. They love him in New Orleans. We
I,
love him
I
here.
love it. Yeah, he's
Yeah, man. Like I have no connection to the Saints. I think he's a great player.
so fun to watch.
So there's your injury report. On by this week, we got
Oh, I got one more thing that I want to because we didn't talk about it. The draft order. I'm just going to give you the top five.
okay.
Remember we said we were going to do it.
Um,
Jaguars back in the
obviously.
top spot. The Raiders in the second spot. Giants in the third spot. Which means if the first two decided to take quarterbacks, you're going to have to trade up, Giants. And I love it. I hope that you do. Patriots
No,
at
you know what
four.
that means. The first two are going to take Jalen Milrow and Brock Ewers. That means Shador Sanders goes to the
Or
Giants.
and dude, that would be that would be
How
NFL
fucking
for you, I
terrible would
think.
that be?
That'd be NFL for you, I would think.
Oh, dude. You
And
know
then
what? I'm not that connected to Shador Sanders.
you got Patriots at four and Panthers at five. So
Patriots at four is interesting.
I like Panthers at five too. Because if Bryce Young plays at a good level for the rest of the season, there's no reason to think that he won't get better if you put more talent around him. And a number five pick is exactly what you.
Also, Jacksonville's not taking a quarterback.
No, no, but they may trade. They may
They
trade to
might.
somebody
Yeah, you're right.
out. I would if I'm Jacksonville and I get the first pick of the draft and I
But
have
the
a
two
quarterback.
the two teams who need quarterbacks are the Raiders and the Raiders and the Giants, and they're already up there.
Yeah, but the Jets need a quarterback.
Oh yeah.
Titans may want one. The Browns may want one. There's a lot of teams.
Vikings
Yeah, that are in that. Well, the Vikings have McCarthy in theory.
in
Uh,
theory.
in theory. But yeah, the Seahawks might even need a quarterback. We don't know. The
49ers.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what their plan is.
Never,
Dallas may draft one, knowing that in 4 years Dak will be done, or before then.
but they're not going to trade up for that guy
They're
though.
not. They might not trade up, but
Yeah,
they.
you're not going to trade for a first round pick that's not going to play. Um,
Yeah, there's
yeah,
a lot of possibilities here. So,
interesting possibilities. Well, the season is also not over. We still have three more regular season games. And kicking off the first.
oh, bye week. Now we go bye week.
Oh, bye week.
Uh,
Ravens, Broncos, Texans, Colts, Patriots, Commanders.
damn, dude. There's a lot of teams
Six
I want
teams
to.
on bye. Like, why the fuck are there week 14 buys? So like those poor teams had to like slog through the whole season.
They need to be. Yeah, they need to be over by like week 12, I would think.
For real. Like I think buys should be between like week 7 and week 11. Like make those short weeks. Um so getting into the slate, Thursday night football brought to you by Amazon. We're heading to Detroit, home of the square pizza and Little Caesars. Um and my Packers are gonna go and try to slay the mighty Lions in their own barn. Oh God. All right.
Do you want
I
me to go?
want to I want to pick the Lions because that way if I lose I still win in some small way. Um, but I'm gonna pick the Packers on the road in prime time. Packers have won three in a row. The Lions almost lost to the Bears last week. They're a little shaken up. This is our opportunity to make a statement, to gain some ground in the division. It's hard to beat a team twice. It's hard to sweep a season series. I'm saying the Packers win on the road 21 to 20.
21-20.
21
Low
20.
scoring, a low scoring defensive affair.
You know what? The Packers have a good defense.
34-30. I'll go against you, bro. I'll go against you.
Do it.
Why not? I
Do
got
it.
Detroit 34-30. Anything you want to predict?
Um,
I mean, you have a 1 point game.
in a 1 point game, I'm gonna say that the Packers block the game tying extra point.
Blocked, blocked Pat. All right.
Whenever people say what's that, it's Pat. All right. Moving over to the AFC East in a real doozy of a matchup here. We got the Dolphins down in South Beach serving up some Cubans to our friends the Jets and Aaron Rodgers.
Man, the Squets got nothing. I have no reason to think they'll have anything, even though Miami had nothing against Aaron Rodgers' former squad. It doesn't matter. They're in Miami. They're back in the heat where they belong. They were a little out of their element in Green Bay. If this was in New York, I'd probably still pick Miami to win. 35-17 is my score.
Yeah, the Jets aren't playing at all anymore. They've completely given up. There's zero effort on the field, especially from Aaron Rodgers. The Dolphins, if they win and the Broncos lose, they could snatch a playoff spot back. So, um, yeah, it's obviously Miami. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a little closer. I'm gonna say 27-17. But yeah, it's there's no chance. There's no chance the Jets win.
I'm going to give you a chance to predict on this one too. What's Aaron Rodgers' interception total and Brees Hall's fumble total?
I'm gonna say one fumble by Brees Hall, two picks by Rodgers, one for a tud.
All right. One for six. All right. I got you.
Minnesota. Bust out the Ludafisk. We're heading up north. Atlanta coming to town.
I
The
like that you have
return.
to pick this game.
I hate that I have to pick this game. Kirk Cousins, glorious return to the noble north. I want to pick Atlanta so bad, just because it'd be so funny. But I think that if Atlanta wins this game, it's because Cousins gets benched and Penix is like way better than we thought he was.
Who's we? I already know how good he is.
You know, I wanted Atlanta to win. I'm gonna do the win lose on this one. I'm gonna pick Minnesota. Because if they lose, then if the Packers win and Minnesota loses, then we move ahead of them in the standings. I'm gonna say Minnesota beats Kirk Cousins. Let's go 38-17.
All right.
You looked bad last week.
All right, but I'm not trying to hold you to any weird commitment here. But you did say on the recap show that you thought that was it for Kirk Cousins. So I'm just want to clarify, do we see Penix in this game? Whether it's not, I'm not asking you for starting.
Yeah.
They're not
I
going
think he
well.
goes in. I think he goes in like the late third quarter.
All right, because I got to put that in the prediction in the notes that you said that.
Yeah.
So I'm just asking, and I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, you dumbass," if he doesn't,
Yeah. What
because we've been
dumbass.
talking about when's the end of for Kirk Cousins anyway.
I think that his career is done, but do the people in Atlanta accept that yet? Probably not. So I think yeah, he'll definitely start the game, but Yeah, if the Vikings are up by 3 scores, yeah, I think Penix will get some reps.
All right, I'm gonna do it, man. I'll give it to you. I'll go 31-27, the Falcons.
Let's go. You know what?
It's gonna be
Probably
lovely.
the biggest upset in NFC Championship history was in Minnesota, Falcons Vikings. That ironclad 15-1 Vikings team. That was such a crazy game. All right, this next one. Oh, I love that you're getting all the easy ones first. Okay, I get Philly first. All right, New Orleans, the Giants, Meadowlands. Who you got?
Is this easy?
It could be a trap.
I I have to stick to my guns and say that I didn't think New York would win another game after Seattle, and they haven't. So, what? No reason for me to change now. I'm gonna take Nolans, and I'm gonna take them. That's gonna be close. I'll say 24-23.
I like that pick a lot. New Orleans is still fighting for their division. The Giants are fighting for Brock Ewers. So a win does nothing but hurt them.
No, they're
Uh,
third right now, remember.
right. I know.
The win takes them out of the top five easy.
Exactly. And then they have to trade and then they have to give up draft capital to get their quarterback. Yeah, no, New Orleans is gonna win. I like your score. I think that it's gonna be close. I will say 28-27.
All right.
Saints. All right. And then yeah, your pretty boy Bryce Young going to the link to Philly to go eat some cream cheese out of the fucking Eagles' toes, man. Like, goddamn, like I do not want to be a Carolina Panther this week.
Well,
Philly, Philly is fucking on fire. They're killing everybody. And the Panthers are basically, I mean, they're basically like a college team at this point. I don't know. I don't know. I know that you're hype on them, but yeah, no, Philly wins this game easy. I'm gonna say 48-14.
48-14. Well, if they win 48-14, it'll be indicative of you being more correct than I am in that Carolina is not a college team. They have professional athletes on their squad as well. I can't name any of them.
They got Bryce Young. Oh, Chuba Hubbard. There
Yeah,
you go.
I mean,
There's a Panther.
um, Christian McCaffrey? No, not anymore.
Oh, sad.
He, here's what I want to see in this game. I think you've got a young quarterback being tested right now. He won 2 games in a row, and he's had 2 heartbreakers in a row against teams that should have maxed them out at all levels. Tampa and Kansas City should have maxed them out because those are 2 playoff contenders in a row. This is the third big playoff contender in a row that they've had to face. Imagine if they come in here on a 4 game win streak. I'm still not thinking that they're going down to Philly, but here's what I want to see, Gobo. I want to see some resilience in this young guy. All right. We already know that he's got garbage around him. I want to know if he is part of the garbage or not. And what I'm telling you is based on the last 4 weeks that he's been the starter again. I'm seeing that he's not the garbage on that team. That's what I want to see here. So I don't like your score. If it happens, I will concede that maybe he's just not ready for the NFL. But I think that if he keeps it within 2 scores, I'm happy because they're
I was like, that's a win if they keep it within two
clearly a
scores.
cut above where, and that's fine. I'm not expecting them to come in and beat Philly. I'm not even expecting them to come close. But if they do, it's indicative that they have a lot to build on with him. And that's what I want to see in these last couple games of the season. And that's what they probably need to see that as well. So my score here is going to be 31, and we'll say 21. 31-21. I'm happy with that score if they can do it. Um,
Eagles.
yeah, Eagles.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I was like, you're picking the Eagles.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, moving on to the
But let's just say, what if they pulled it off?
that would be something.
I mean, then you can really start to say, all right, wow, we got to take a step back here and consider these guys for the rest of the
Oh,
season, no matter who they're playing. I mean, you would have
right.
to. So, all right, sorry about that. I mean to. I was just like, wow,
You're good.
what if they did
I was gonna say, I feel like we've talked about this stupid game for too long. Um, Pittsburgh.
the rematch?
Where they name their field after a mustard. Um, taking on the Browns. Division game at home, day game. Your pick.
Well, I've said it before, like a couple minutes ago on the recap show, that Jameis Winston is one of the most entertaining players in the NFL. I'm baffled by how much of a douche he is. Um, I can't get enough of watching him talk because he's like I don't even, dude, he's like a toddler. Like he's just says things that he's picked up along the way.
Right.
Like he said he's praying for God to relieve him of the pick sixes. That's hilarious. Like
I
that's
mean,
hilarious.
it's a good thing to pray for if you're him, I suppose.
God will set me free of the pick sixes because that's not me. That's not who I am. Yes,
Right.
it is. It has been your entire career, buddy. But keep talking because you're entertaining as shit. 500 yards on passing on the field, six touchdowns, two to the other team. Whatever. The guy is nuts. And we've got right now Russell Wilson playing like he's in his prime.
Lights out.
Lights out, really. I mean, in his prime. The guy is he's thrown some interceptions, but they're really not the kind that you would be worried about if you're a coach, like Jameis. You're like, what even was that, buddy? What was that? Like, I'm just go sit down. I don't even look at me right now. And then he goes out and throws a touchdown. I really Cleveland won this game, the first round. Do you remember this?
He did.
I like Pittsburgh in this. I think it's going to be another high scoring game. I really do. I think it'll be maybe like 35-29, let's say. And I'm going to pick Pittsburgh um because it's in Pittsburgh. That's it. That's it.
I really wanted to pick who you didn't pick in this game. But I can't take the Browns for a season sweep over Pittsburgh. I can't do it. Um, so yeah, I gotta also take the Steelers. They're clearly the better team. They're better coach. They have a better quarterback. They have a better defense. They have a better running back. They have better receivers. They're better fans, better food. A more appealing color scheme. Yeah, the Steelers are gonna win. Um, I'm gonna say it's gonna be close, 28-24.
28-24 Pittsburgh. All right. Give me Jameis Winston's stat line for this game.
Oh my God. 345, two touchdowns, two picks.
Two TD, two INT. And how about Russell?
Russell, four touchdowns, 445.
445.
Yeah.
No,
Passer rating of like 121.
no picks.
He's gonna torch him again.
All right.
I'm not saying Russell's a perfect quarterback. I'm just saying he's way better than the fucking Browns.
Hey, it's just a prediction. That's all.
Yeah. All right, up next. A pirate themed team hosts another pirate themed team. It's the Bucks and the Raiders. Um, you know, the Raiders might be the worst team in football. I know we rag on the Jets like basically constantly. I know we rag on the Browns. The Raiders are fucking hapless. Like, aside from Max Crosby, I don't know if there's any Raiders player I would want on the roster.
Okay.
So for that reason alone, they're gonna lose to Tampa. Um, I don't even know. Like Baker Mayfield, like Tampa, I feel like self-sabotages a little bit, but I don't think they can self-sabotage enough to lose this game. I'm gonna say 21-17 Bucks at home.
All right, I'm gonna say 31-17 Bucks at home.
I was gonna say you can't pick the Raiders. It's impossible at this point.
No, can't do it.
Can't do it. Ooh, I love that you have to. Oh no, I that's the wrong one. Okay. Well, this is still a pretty tough pick. Um, couple of heading on down to the AFC South. We're going down to Nashville, where they have Dragon Balls on their state flag for some reason. And they're taking on the Cats from Duval, the Jaguars and the Titans, lacing them up. This one is your pick.
Shit.
God damn, I know. Like this one's tough. Don't bet on this game.
Do not bet on this game.
Do not bet on this game.
You got Mac Jones, keep in mind.
Hmm.
Most likely Mac Jones versus Will Levis.
Most likely Will Levis. He might get benched.
Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with Tennessee. I'm gonna go with Tennessee 28, Jacksonville 22. Um, I don't feel like giving an analysis on this one. That's just what I'm
I was
picking.
like, that's reasonable. I think the only way that Tennessee wins this game is if Jacksonville sabotages it so they can keep their top pick. I don't think they will do that, and so for that reason, I'm going to take Jacksonville. Um, as bad as Mac Jones is, as bad as the Jaguars are right now, Tennessee is completely wiped. Like that game against the Commanders was just it was painful to watch. So I will take Jacksonville on the road, 13-12.
13-12 Jacks. All right, you got it.
All right, here we go. Let's get some cactus candies and some meth. Head out to Arizona. And your boys, the Seahawks. Oh, I have to pick this one first, don't I? Cardinals hosting the Seahawks.
Oh, it's my pick.
Is it?
Yeah,
I'll let you pick. No, you pick.
I had to pick Tennessee before Jacksonville.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, no, it's your pick. My bad.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
Sorry, you're right.
Twisting me up here. Um, okay. This is a big game.
It is.
This is a big game because this determines who is leading the division, doesn't it?
No, no, because they lost. We beat them and then they lost.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so Arizona needs this game to stay relevant.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take the Cardinals at home, just because I think they're going to be hungry. I think they're pissed about blowing that lead in Minnesota. Um, and then Seattle made a ton of mistakes against New York, and the Cardinals are not nearly as bad as the Jets. So, like, if they make that many mistakes again, the Cardinals definitely capitalize. I'm taking the Cardinals at home, 37-27 over the Seahawks.
Seattle has the best record in the NFL away from home right now. So, that being said, I can't pick against them. They're away from home. So, we'll go ahead and say Seattle wins 28-13.
Very possible.
Keeping also in mind that when the Cardinals played in Seattle, they had 6 points. They could not even muster a touchdown.
Yeah.
I'll give
The Cardinals, for some reason, like they have games where they look really good, and then some games they just completely fall flat on offense. I think that's Kyler though. That's just like he's been just remarkably inconsistent, but he's great when he's good.
I agree.
So we'll see what Kyler we get on Sunday. The Rams hosting the Bills. This is kind of an interesting game. I'll let you pick it. I know I don't think you'll pick the Rams.
I'm not picking the Rams.
I was like, I don't think he'll do it.
I like Buffalo. Um, Plus I want the Rams to lose, so we will say 29-14 Buffalo in a boring game.
I was gonna say this one. This is one of those like don't think about it too hard games. Like you're like, oh, the Rams are at home. They won last week. Puka Nacua looked really good. Yeah, like New Orleans and Buffalo are not the same team. Josh Allen he's been cooking. The Buffalo's been red hot. They're slaughtering their division. Yeah, they're gonna win this game. At SoFi. SoFi is like one of the easiest stadiums for road teams.
Dude, and they scored 35 in the fucking blizzard snow of Buffalo, including Josh Allen throwing a touchdown to himself, basically. But what do I know?
They're a good football team. Yeah, and it's definitely not going to be a blizzard in Inglewood. Yeah, I'm gonna take Buffalo on the road. I'll give them a pretty good win, 35-14.
What about 14? I said 29-14, so
There you go. I'll give them an extra six. All right. This game is interesting. Chicago at San Francisco.
this game has a lot of twists and turns, Gobo. I know that it's your pick first, but I kind of want
Really?
to
Or I know I picked oh no, you picked yeah. Oh, this is my pick. Oh, I love this. Is
I kind of want to meld your brain for a moment.
okay,
Remind you
let's
of a
hear
couple
let's
things.
give me your elevator pitch before I make this
So,
pick.
Eberflus is fired.
Correct.
We know about teams coming out of a situation where their coach is fired. Typically, the last three have all come away winners. The last three teams to do this. Now, you're not a good team if you're firing your coach in the middle of the season.
Not generally,
So,
no.
so that's not indicative of this. This is three in a row where these teams have won coming off of Brock Purdy doesn't have his weapons. McCaffrey's hung up for the season. Ayuk is out. Kittle's ailing. Debo's ailing. Bosa is ailing. What what are you gonna do? Bears have lost four heartbreakers in a row. Where does it end?
I love that you spent that whole time saying all that because I was always going to pick the Bears in this game. Dude, San Francisco has gotten flattened the last 2 weeks, completely flattened. And like Chicago has looked good. They looked good against the Packers. They looked good against the Lions. They just fucking blew it at the end. They're not going to blow it if they're up by 25 points. Like, so yeah, no, Caleb Williams is gonna cook in this game. This is gonna be one of those. I'm gonna say it's a trap game, not because they're gonna lose, but because they're gonna win and they're gonna look really good, and but they're still not a good team. So, yeah, I'm taking Chicago with 30-7.
30-7.
30-7. San Francisco's got nothing on offense, man.
Yikes. So you seem like you are landing in the Brock Purdy's opposer crowd.
I mean,
Seven at
I don't
home.
know if he's a poser, but like he's not as good as everyone thinks he is. I guess by definition that makes him a poser.
All right. Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not trying to dunk on you or anything. I'm just
I think it's fine.
sure that
This
you
is
know that you said 30-7.
I did. I
Yeah.
did say that.
All right. All right. No, that's cool. I mean, the
All
Bears
right.
last time they scored 30 is my question.
Last time yes, they scored 30, like Harry
2 years
Truman was
ago?
in the White House.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Maybe. All
It's
right.
been a while.
All right. No, I like it. That's bold. It's like it's bold, man. All right, I'll go against you. And then it'll just be one of those situations where if the Bears win, it's a win-win for me.
Okay.
So yeah, all right. We'll go San Francisco 22-21. And another heartbreaking loss 5 in a
with another missed field goal.
row.
Or
I'm
oh
going
no,
against my own rule too, because I usually pick the team when they fire their coach because I totally believe in the element of it raises you to a new level, just to have some fresh
yeah,
takes on things.
22-21, and the Bears lose with a safety.
Oh, I'm just gonna put an S in there. All right.
That would be funny.
There you
Um,
go, my brother. This
all right,
game, this fucking game.
this game's fun, but and that's not fun because it's the fucking Chiefs. It's another primetime game with the Chiefs again. They're playing a division rival again. Is this whose pick is this? This is
Fine.
your pick. All right, so Chiefs Chargers in Arrowhead. What do we got?
Ready?
Yep.
Here's the thing, my friend. Sick and fucking tired of Kansas City's bullshit. Got nothing against you, Chiefs fans. Really. I love you. You're unintelligent bastards. They can't read, but I still love you. And then you've got Harbaugh, which I hate, but he's putting his team together, you guys. He's on a trajectory, and you can see it. You can see it in the games and the way that they're played. This was one of the most boring teams at the beginning of the season, and now they're kind of like this division is becoming electric the Raiders, minus the Raiders. But
Minus the Raiders.
they have the second pick of the draft right now, so.
It'll be exciting.
All right,
Jalen
so I'm
Milroe
going to
is
get
gonna
to it,
look
dude. I think Harbaugh bests Andy Reid in this game, and I think it's by 10. I'm going to go 28. No, let's go 31-21.
okay.
And I'm going to pick the Clippers.
The Clippers.
Yep.
Um,
What do you got? I gave this one to you, man.
I was gonna say Kansas City's gonna win by a field goal again. Um, fuck 23-20. I like Harbaugh a lot. I like the Chargers a lot. The Chiefs are a good enough team to win this game, and Andy Reid's gonna pull some Andy Reid bullshit, and he's gonna get a close win again. And people are gonna continue the narrative that the Chiefs are rigging everything. Like I said, I don't know that they're not. I'm pretty sure they're not, but I don't know. 23-20 Chiefs.
All right.
All
Got
right, Monday night. Ooh, I get to bring us home. Dallas and Cincinnati. This one's fucked, man. What a fucked
uh,
game. God damn, I don't want to pick this.
I want to watch it.
I do you?
Yeah, I do.
Just to see which team can fuck up less?
This is a loser bracket game, man, all day long.
It is. It is bust out the tanks here,
I
man.
mean, Dallas won, but they played against the Giants, so they lost, really.
Right, yeah. When you play the Giants, everyone loses.
When you don't
Um,
beat the Giants by more than 7, you lose.
yeah, that's fair. Um, I'm thinking about giving you a gift.
Are you?
I'm gonna give you a gift. I'm gonna take Dallas.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna take Dallas at home. I think that Cincinnati finds a way to lose this game, even though I think they're a better team. I'm gonna say Dallas 27, Cincinnati 24. Um, botch snap on a field goal at the end.
I'm going to take your score and I'll take Cincinnati. Did you know before making your pick that Dallas is 1-6 at home? Their only win coming on Thanksgiving.
But they did beat the Giants.
Yeah. But the Giants don't have a quarterback. The Bengals do.
They have a great quarterback.
They're not injured. They have all their players are healthy and ready to go. I think you did say that you gave me a gift.
I'm giving you a gift because the pick doesn't make logical sense, but Cincinnati's a team that will snatch defeat from the claws of victory.
But we've seen that 3 games in a row. So, I mean, that's your only logic. Like I,
If it walks like a duck, man, like it's they fucking find ways to lose.
yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Uh, this isn't Nom Dames. This is
There are
bowling.
rules.
Yeah,
There are rules.
over the line.
Uh,
Nobody rolls
let
on
me one more
shadows.
time. Let me one more time recap this for everybody.
Okay.
Uh, there are there were no teams on bye week for 13. None. This week you got the Ravens, the Donkeys, the Texans, the Colts, the Patriots, and the Commanders. No game. Sad face. Why? No, no, none on week 13? Why? Just because of the holiday?
That must have been it. Well, because they spread the games over 5 fucking days. So
I
like, yeah.
know.
But still, like, still the Packers have a short week now. Like, so it's like you didn't really benefit anybody. The Lions have a short week.
Like, let's be done with bye weeks. There's none next week, which is probably the last. I
I,
would,
I would say this is probably the last one.
yeah, this is the last bye week. We got 6 teams. So from here on out, we'll have a full slate of games. That makes me happy. Uh, yeah. All right. Well, good show, Gobo.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, that's week 14. We're running out of football, but we got the best games are yet to come. So I don't know. It's been a wonky donkey of a season. Um, and there's some powerhouses that are kind of emerging. I'm really interested. I am so excited for this postseason, man. I really am.
Do you suppose we ought to think about doing a playoff hockey show? Because this will be done.
Um,
This will be
if
done.
you want, the Avalanche are kind of like ruining my brain right now because we can't seem to figure out how to play goalie. Let's see here.
We don't have Patrick Waugh anymore.
No, Patrick Waugh retired in like 2003.
And
Um,
I mean, he was one of the greatest ever, though.
I think yeah. I mean, he's like Reggie White to me, where it's like I would love to think he's the greatest, but Ed Belfour is in that conversation.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're not wrong.
I mean, I think that it's subjective. I love Patrick Waugh, but I think statistically Ed Belfour's got him by a little bit. But I still adore him. I don't care how many doors he rips off.
Fair enough.
But I saw Patrick Waugh. He was an assistant coach for the Islanders, and we went and saw the Avs Islanders game, and I got to see him on the bench. He looks good.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I love to talk about hockey. No, I just look, the Avs pulled it off tonight after going down 4-0.
Back and win as well, 4-2.
There you go. So we won 5-4 over the Buffalo Bills Sabres.
I'll eat some wings to that.
You
All
know what?
right.
I think we can all eat wings to that. All right. Everyone take care of each other out there. Happy holiday season. We will see you next week. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure to comment what jersey you'd like to see me adorn on the following week. Make your picks. Try to beat Angry Panda Poet because she doesn't want the free cards we're giving away, and she's been beating us. So why
Duncan.
not? It's
Duncan.
free.
I will see you on TikTok on Thursday night.
Oh, yes. I think I could probably join for that if I'm not having a complete emotional breakdown.
If you feel, if you, oh yeah, if you feel up to it.
I know. I usually go play Magic the
Well,
Gathering on.
it's funny, Gobo, because you
Yeah.
say that I quit my live feed at noon this week to watch the Seattle game, and 5 minutes into the first quarter, I was back on because
You're back on. You're like,
I needed emotional support, man.
you have to commiserate. You have to do it.
It was
I
good.
love it. Anyways, good football. Fuck the Jets.